Good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with Econ Sellers. And my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that is you, I am here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me so we can go through your business and talk about what's happening. But before we get into that, I want to invite you to our topic for today, which is talking about the different categories to sell products on Amazon. So, what are those categories and how do I figure out what I can and cannot do? So, just before we get into the discussion about categories, I do want to invite you to go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, you can download the daily, weekly, and monthly e-com planning checklist. That'll get you going so that you can follow along today after we talk about the Amazon categories. We're going to go straight into the daily planning checklist. So go and download that now. Go into the e-commerce planning Facebook group, go to the files section and download the daily, weekly, and monthly planning checklist. So with that, let's talk about the Amazon selling categories. So Amazon does have a lot of different categories in which you can sell products. Some of those categories have different guidelines and different rules, so you want to be aware of those. So these are the categories that don't have restrictions, and I'm going to say that with sort of an asterisk or quotation marks in the air, because they may have some restrictions for specific brands, or there may be some secondary categories. And what I mean by restrictions, it means that you may be able to sell products in that specific category, but there might be a specific brand or there might be a specific secondary category that you or subcategory that you may not be able to sell products in. So the primary category, Amazon has primary categories, and then they do have secondary categories or subcategories within the primary categories. If you ever do a Google search on Amazon bestsellers and you go to, you click on one of the categories, you'll see that there is a subcategory or a secondary category under that category. And then if you expand it again in that category, there might be another category underneath that. So it's sort of layered. I'm going to give you an example. On the screen, we're live on Clubhouse. We're live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. So then you can see my screen in the e-commerce planning Facebook group if you want to sort of follow along. But I'm going to use the example of beauty. Beauty is one of those categories that is considered open, and that means that you can sell products in that category. Sort of. If you sell products in that category of beauty, they must be classified as new. Can't sell used, so you don't want to list a product as used in the beauty category on Amazon. All right. So within that beauty category, there's some specific types of products that you may have to get approval to be able to sell, and or some specific brands. Since we're talking about beauty, we could say that Maybelline could be a specific brand because it's a popular and well-known brand that you may be required to request approval. Okay. And there's going to be a session where we talk about how to request approval on Amazon. But again, Amazon is a category which you may have to request approval. Oh, sorry, not Amazon, the secondary category or the brand of Maybelline, you may be required to request approval under Maybelline for that specific brand. So as you look at this list, they have listed that you can sell Amazon device accessories as new. You can also sell them as used. They're saying it's open, but again, there's going to be some level of potential approval for brands or subcategories. Amazon Kindle, you can sell those devices as used. Beauty says you can sell as new. Books you can sell as new or used. I will tell you, books again is another one that can get caught up. You can get caught up on, because unless you're a publisher, you could get into trouble for selling a book as new on Amazon. So you want to sell your books as used. We have a whole workshop inside of eCom Sellers Academy where we talk about that. Then you have business products where you're doing B2B. You can sell new and used. Beauty and tools and accessories, you can sell those as new. Again, we're going to put quotation marks in the air. Camera and photo, you can sell new or used. Cell phones, it says you can sell new, used, or unlocked. Again, there's going to be some additional steps you'll probably have to follow, and we'll get into those in just, or some of them, not all of them. Clothing and accessories, that says you can sell them as new on Amazon. And again, you have to be mindful of brands. So we've mentioned brands at the beginning of this whole discussion. Electronics, accessories, it says you can sell them as new and used. Fashion and jewelry says you can sell that as new. Again, there's going to be some specific things under there. I'm just kind of giving you the ones that I already know. There's some extra stuff you're going to have to do. Grocery and gourmet food, again, you must sell food as new. You can't sell it as used. And you want to be mindful of that category as well, because there's going to be specific brands underneath there. Home and garden, you can sell those products as new, used, or collectibles. Now, under home and garden, there's a bunch of secondary and or subcategories that fall up under there. So just want you to be aware of that. And then, sorry, I moved ahead. Luggage and travel accessories, you can sell those as new. Again, there's going to be some specific brands. Musical instruments, you can sell them as new, used, or collectible. Office products, new, used, or collectible. And make sure that if you're selling office products as used, like it makes logical sense. Don't sell like a ream of paper as used. Okay. Outdoors, outdoor sports and cycling and all of that says you can sell new and used. Shoes, handbags, and glasses says you can sell them as new. Software and computer games says you can sell them as new and used. Sports says you can sell new, used, and collectible. Tools and home improvement, you can sell new as used. Toys, you can sell as new and used, and it says, new and collectible. Toys, they do have, if you go to the Sell on Amazon page, it will tell you that there's a holiday selling requirement that you need to apply for. So that we'll talk about that in another session, what that is and what that means and what they've done in the past versus what they're doing now. Video games and video game controllers, consoles, new, used, and collectible. Now, categories with restrictions. There are several categories that have restrictions. There may be restrictions because of hazmat, because they're potentially illegal to sell online. So various reasons as to why there are restrictions, and or that there may be secondary categories or subcategories where you have to get additional approval. So some of these may have, like I said, secondary subcategories that you need to be concerned about. So categories with restrictions are alcohol, clearly. You want to go read what Amazon Seller Central says about that. And it says you can sell as new. But again, there's some restrictions. Animal related products says you can sell as new. Go read the restrictions. Automotive and power sports. Again, they have new, used, and collectible. Baby products, definitely go and check out baby products. So you can sell them as new. Beauty topicals. Now, we were just looking at beauty before, so this is a subcategory underneath beauty, which is topicals, and I mentioned that before, and this is new. Certified refurbished, that's going to really apply to some of the computers and electronics and things like that, and that type of equipment, and they have some guidelines around that. Collectible coins says you can sell them as collectibles, but again, you want to follow the guidelines around that. Cosmetics, skin and hair care says you can sell them as new. Again, that's going to be one of those sub or secondary categories. Dietary supplements says you can sell them as new. Definitely never sell supplements as used. Drugs and drug paraphernalia. Again, you want to go read what that says and what that means so that you don't get yourself in trouble. But if you are approved to be able to sell those things, you can sell those as new. Electronics says you can sell them as new. Guidelines around that. Entertainment, collectibles. Says you can sell them as a collectible. Explosive weapons and related items says you can sell them as new. Fine art says you can sell them as collectibles. Gambling and lottery says you can sell them as new. Grocery and gourmet food says you can sell them as new. Again, I know that there are a lot of brand restrictions under there in certain types of foods. Handmade, you have to go through a process to get approved to be able to sell in the handmade category. Hazardous and dangerous items, again, there's a whole section on hazard and dangerous, but there are some products that you can sell, and you want to know what they are, you want to know what those guidelines are, and you want to follow those guidelines, and you can sell those things as new. Health and personal care, again, says you can sell it as new. And a lot of these are like, the ones that I'm reading off, some of them are secondary categories under the primary category, or subcategories under the primary category. Historical and advertising collectibles. You can sell them as collectible. Human parts and burial artifacts. I would just go read that. I'm not even going to say what it says you can sell it as. Industrial and scientific, says you can sell it as new. And again, you want to follow those guidelines around that. Next is jewelry and precious gems. Says you can sell them as new. Laser products. Again, you definitely want to read that. Don't get yourself in trouble. There's a lot of different products that are like, oh, what are those things? Drones that have lasers on it. You don't want to get yourself in trouble, because that's a whole several layers of trouble that you're inviting yourself into if you do that. But you want to follow those guidelines, and you can sell it as new. Lighting says you can sell it as new. Lock picking and theft devices. I'm not even going to read that. I would just say you need to go and check it out so that you know what you can and cannot do. Medical devices and accessories, again, go and read that so you know what you can and cannot do. Medications, we already talked about drugs on the other one. So again, these are all sub or secondary categories under a primary category. And as I mentioned before, these are things you want to be aware of. Music, it says you can sell them as new, used, and collectible. Offensive and controversial materials, I would just go read that. I would not tell you what you can and cannot do there. Organic products. Again, this is the list from Amazon's Sell on Amazon site. This is not the list that I randomly made up. This is the real list on their site. If you go to Amazon, if you go to Sell on Amazon, you will find this list. Okay, and then there's hyperlinks when you go to that list. So you'll be able to go directly to what they say so that you can be mindful of it. Organic products says you can sell them as new. Pesticides says you can sell them as new. Again, you want to go read that. Pet food, definitely go read that. You can sell them as new. Plants, plant products and seeds, you can sell those as new. Postage, meter, and stamps, you can sell those as new. Sex and sensual products, you can sell those as new, and you're going to go read the guidelines around that. Sports collectibles, you can sell those as new. So sorry, as collectibles. Subscription and periodicals. So you have the opportunity to set up subscriptions on Amazon. So if you are a private label seller or white label seller, if you've got a subscription box, definitely throw it up, because you have the opportunity to sell those things. But you need to follow the guidelines on what they say. And if you have those products that are like replenishables, people buy all the time, like supplements, you can set up subscriptions for their supplements if people are buying supplements from you. So surveillance equipment, you definitely want to go read that. It says you can sell it as new. Tobacco and tobacco related products. Again, I would just go read that so that you don't get yourself in trouble and don't assume what you can and cannot do. Topicals, we've talked about that. I use that as one of the first examples. Again, anything that you're ingesting or anything that you're putting on your skin, those are products that you're probably going to have to go through a few different layers of approval to be able to sell those specific products. Video, DVD, and Blu-ray says you can sell them as new. Used collectible watches says you can sell them as new, but you're going to have to go through the approval process. And I will say, of the approval process to be able to sell watches, it's actually pretty fast and pretty easy. And then warranties, service plans, contracts, guarantees, says not applicable. So this is what I will say. All of these categories and restricted and or categories, sub, secondary, whatever, they all kind of give you some insight into what are the types of products you can sell on Amazon. If you want to take a deeper dive into those, definitely go into Amazon, sell on Amazon.com. Some of these we will cover only because they are popular and or common categories, like replenishables or consumables. We sell those because those are definitely products that will help you to get regular recurring income. So as we step through this list, be thinking about what is it that I potentially want to sell if you don't already know what you want to sell on Amazon, so that you know that there are some guidelines around some of these categories and secondary categories, specific products categories. So hope you'll join us tomorrow. I believe that we're going to be talking about scanning products to see what category they're in and some other specific things about those particular products. So definitely tune in or watch the next video regarding what products and how to scan them. So with that, we invite you to turn up the dial on your business, get laser focused by grabbing the 2023 eCom Planner. If you want to grab the 2022, definitely grab the digital version because it is currently at a very low price. You can go to myecomplanner.com to grab the 2022 digital version, or if you want the physical version, that's fine. Go ahead and grab it before the price increases. It is the ultimate e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. We also invite you to join us, or let us join you on your e-commerce journey by you joining eCom Sellers Academy. You can go to ecomsellersacademy.com right now to join us. It's terribly affordable. It's $17.99 a month, and it gives you the opportunity to get some support on your e-commerce journey. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going directly to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources, and scheduling your free 20-minute coaching session there. And now we're about to review that checklist. So I mentioned earlier, go download the e-commerce planning checklist. If you didn't already do that, go do that now. And then afterwards, if you want to talk about your business, if you want to discuss any questions, if you want to ask any questions, doesn't matter if it's on today's topic or any e-commerce topic, you can join us on Clubhouse. We are live. Let's chat about your business. Let's talk about where you are. Let's get your questions answered. And let's get those things addressed. So you can go to the eCom Sellers Club on Clubhouse right now and join us as we go through the daily eCom planning checklist. We'll be answering questions afterwards or just talking about your business. All right, so the daily eCom planning checklist, let's step through that. So the goal or the objective of the daily eCom planning checklist is to help you to get more consistent, be more consistent in your business. We're going to be intentional. We're going to take intentional action, make intentional decisions, take intentional steps every single day so that we can move the needle in our business, move things forward, help us to make progress, gain some momentum. That is the goal. And to ultimately help you to be more consistent, because when you're consistent, that's when you get consistent revenue. For those people that are looking to replace the income from their job, their 9 to 5, e-commerce is a viable solution, but you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. So with that, on the daily eCom planning checklist, the first thing that we do, there's 2 parts to this. Technically, there's 3 really. The first part is what you need to do the night before. We invite you or encourage you to plan or block off anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to do these 4 steps. And then the morning of, right now, this morning, we invite you to block off 5 to 15 minutes to execute 5 steps. So what are those 4 steps the night before? 1, you're going to go through and you're going to assess your day. So that's step number 1. You're going to review what happened, what went well, what didn't go well, what did you get done, what did you not get done on your schedule or on your checklist. If you didn't make any progress on your checklist, we're not going to beat ourselves up. That's just not what we do. We're going to celebrate whatever successes and wins we did have, because that is progress. That means that you actually did get some stuff done. Even if your list had 20 things on it, you got 1 thing done. Hey, we're going to celebrate that. That's 1 less thing that gets carried over to tomorrow. Okay. The other thing, or gets carried over to next month or next week. Okay. So we celebrate that, and we want to make sure we include everything that we did in the day, because everything that we do in the day really does matter. We want to get better at creating an inclusive schedule. A lot of people create segmented schedules that don't incorporate what's happening in their life and in their business. And so then they have a hard time managing the 2. And the reality is, God blesses you with 24 hours in the day. Whatever you do in the entire day, whether it's focusing on your family or your business or your health or whatever else, they're all going to go together because it's part of the 24-hour day. So create a schedule that kind of encompasses what's happening in your 24-hour window. And of those 24 hours, hopefully you are awake anywhere from 16 to 18 of those, and you're sleeping the others. So your daily schedule should be inclusive of everything that's happening in the day, and you'll have segmented time to focus on your business. Let's review and assess our schedule. How much progress did we make? Step 2 is to go ahead and update our daily tracking stats. If you don't have the My eCom Planner, you can grab a notebook and build out your own checklist of things that you feel like are important, things that are going to help you move the needle in your business, help show that you're making progress. There's nothing like flipping through the My Ecom Planner at the end of the year and seeing all of the pages in which you've populated all of the information that's happening in your business every single day. That's everything from how many listings did you create, to what were your sales, to what was your profits for the day, what were your expenses, and many, many, many other things. So if you don't already have a My Ecom Planner, go grab one. Otherwise, grab a notebook and let's plug in what are the things that you feel like are important to track so that you feel like you are making progress in your business. I will give you a hint. Definitely those things that are income producing activities should be things that you should be tracking every single day. So that's just a hint. Next, we are going to review our online calendars. That's your personal, your business, and your work. If you're using Gmail, which I use Gmail, we have a G Suite account. It works perfectly. It's great. But again, look at your online calendar, your personal, your business, and your job for tomorrow so that you're not surprised about what's going to happen tomorrow. And then last but not least, before you go to bed, definitely build out a draft of your calendar, your schedule for tomorrow. Sorry. So build out your schedule. What is it that you want to definitely accomplish? What's the main thing? If nothing goes right tomorrow, something major happens in the morning, that's an emergency. What's the one thing you definitely want to try and get done tomorrow? The other thing I want to point out, this is the third full week in October. So whatever it is you need to get done, if it's supposed to be accomplished in the month of October, be thinking about when you're building out your daily schedule, what are the things that you want to get done in the month of October, and what do you need to maybe scale up, get more focused, get more consistent about, raise the bar on those things that you need to get done in the third week and or fourth week of October, because in 2 weeks, October's over and you're into November. So let's try and be thinking about that when we build our schedule. Also include, like I said before, everything that you do in your day, not just your business, but have some time set aside or blocks that are reserved activity time for things that have nothing to do with your business. If meditation is extremely important to you, you should have some dedicated time for that. If studying for whatever it is, maybe you have a class that you're going to school, and so you need to have reserved time where you're going to study so you don't accidentally decide that you're going to work on your business during that window. So think about the things that you already do, and when are you already doing those things, and if those are things that are serving your life well, serving your family well, or serving your business well, then definitely go and make sure that they're on your schedule. The next is we're going to talk about what you need to be doing today. So again, this outline is based off of every method of e-commerce. It doesn't matter what method of e-commerce, whether you're doing private label, white label, print on demand, drop shipping, wholesale, liquidations, thrifting, books, doesn't matter. These are activities that all sellers are going to be doing to some extent in their business. Some of them you do more of, some of them you do less of. So examples would be like, okay, I'm creating listings probably sometime throughout the week. Okay, I am sourcing products probably somewhere throughout the week. I'm doing product research probably somewhere throughout the week. So again, as you're thinking about your schedule, if you didn't participate in the weekly planning session, go back and listen to the weekly planning session, because that will help you to create your daily plan for the week much faster, much quicker, and it will just move right along. So with that, this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to review yesterday's schedule. Only reason why we do that is because we want to get better at creating a better daily schedule every single day. So if you did not make the progress you wanted to make on Sunday or Saturday or Friday, you want to make sure that you go back and you include the things that you should have been doing and that you were doing in your business so that you do build a more inclusive Saturday schedule. Monday schedule. And also a more inclusive, well, today is Monday, a more inclusive Sunday schedule. I meant to say Sunday instead of Saturday, because we're reviewing what we did yesterday and we're seeing whether or not we made progress on it. Then step 2 of this process is to review and update your weekly priorities and weekly habits. What are those weekly priorities and or habits that you are working on building and getting more consistent about? What are the priorities for this week? What is the one thing that you definitely need to get done somewhere this week, no matter what? What was on your monthly plan agenda, which is number 3? What was on your monthly plan agenda? What progress have you made towards your monthly goals? hopefully you're starting to check some of them off, or hopefully at least they're at the 50% mark, that you've gotten 50% of the things that you wanted to get done as far as goals for the month are concerned. Because if they're not, you got to make up that extra time or that progress in the last 2 weeks of October. So you got to get focused. So review your weekly plan, your monthly plan, and let's go ahead and let's see what we need to make adjustments for this week. What are the things that we need to do because we didn't make progress in the first 2 weeks of the month? Then you're going to review the schedule that you drafted last night, or maybe you drafted it in the weekly planning session. Either one. Go review that schedule. Read today's plan. Make sure you have identified the main thing if nothing else goes right. And what are the things that you really want to accomplish today? All right. So we're going to read it, write it, speak it into existence. Step 5 is to write out a draft for tomorrow. Again, if you didn't participate in the weekly plan, then this is your opportunity to also draft what you want to do tomorrow. That's going to help you gain that momentum on the things that you said that you needed to get done this week and also this month. So you're going to build a draft for tomorrow. The next thing on the agenda is we want to think about things that are going to disrupt, interrupt our plan. There's always going to be something that comes up, and we're talking about things that are not truly emergencies. Emergencies are you got a broken leg, appendix abrupted, got a flat tire, things like that. Those are emergencies, and you have to deal with them as they come up. Okay. But non-emergencies are things maybe you planned in advance, or you knew a deadline was coming up for something, but you just completely forgot about it. And then all of a sudden you wake up and go, oh my God, I have to get this done today. So like today is the 17th, tax filing October the 15th for those who have to do their quarterlies, and their monthlies. Like if you didn't do that with your state, you probably are thinking about that today. So those are things that you could have planned action and or activities around and worked it into your schedule in the prior week, so it doesn't become a thing that you have to react to right now. So think about, upcoming doctor's appointments, think about upcoming obligations, think about upcoming maybe conferences you got to go to, or appointments that you have to attend, and make adjustments to your schedule where possible so that you can still maintain momentum in your business. What happens is when you don't account for those things, you stop your routine or you interrupt your routine. It's called a pattern interrupt. When you interrupt your routine, there's a possibility that you will not be able to get your train back on the tracks. So you gain a bunch of momentum in your e-commerce business, you're making progress, and then all of a sudden something just kind of derails you for the day and you struggle to get your train back on the tracks because of the fact that, that break in routine just kind of throws you off. So your goal is to prepare for those types of things. If you know the taxes are due, don't wait until the day the taxes are due. Work on it the week before, 2 weeks before, so that way you're ready to go, or submit them early so it becomes a non-issue for you. Again, those types of things you can deal with. You can prepare for in advance. If you know that one of your family members is going out for outpatient surgery and you know that you're going to have to care for them, or maybe you are going out for outpatient surgery, everything that you had planned for your daily routine, you maybe have to make adjustments to it. Or maybe that day you don't do anything, but you maybe pick up some extra work the day before and day after. So make adjustments to your schedule, whether it be I'm supposed to list 10 items per day or 20 items per day or 30 items per day. But this week, my son is going in for a sleep study. I actually do have a sleep study coming up, but it's not this week. But the point is for my son. But the point is I have to make adjustments to my routine and my schedule to accommodate that. When they give me a date, everything that I have planned, and I'm probably not going to be able to choose my own date. More than likely may have some flexibility, but whenever they give me the date, I'm going to have to look and see what's on my schedule and my agenda for that day and potentially for that week, so that I can make adjustments where I need to and still maintain momentum in my business. And that's your goal, is to maintain momentum so that you don't fall off the wagon and never get back on. Think about what happens at the beginning of the year when people establish New Year's resolutions. And then when they have one day that they miss, then the next week they potentially miss 2, or the following week they miss 2 days. And then the week after that, they miss 3 days. And then after that, they're back to their regular routine. And that's what happens is when there's a break in the pattern or break in the routine, People have a hard time getting back up on the horse. Your goal is to stay consistent, stay focused, and to plan and prepare for those things that are going to impact you in that way. So, with that, I hope that information is helpful. I hope it blesses you on your e-commerce journey. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get focused, get organized, get consistent in their business. If that's you, I invite you to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session, as I mentioned before. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on free resources, and schedule a session. In addition to that, go grab the My Ecom Planner so that you're prepared for massive success in 2023. And we are live on Clubhouse, so if you have questions, you can raise your hand so that I can answer any of your questions, whatever they happen to be on today's topic or not on today's topic. And with that, we are going to say goodbye for now.